Hi, today we have a relative new kata. It is called Cuckoo clock. What do we have to do? Well, let's jump to the example immediately. Let's say that you start at 3:38. When it chimes 19 times, you should return 6 o'clock. Here's the explanation. It chimes once at 3:45, 4 times at 4 o'clock, once each at 4:15, 4:30, and 4:55, 5 times at 5 o'clock, and once each at 5:15, 5:30, and 5:45. At this point, it has chimed 60 times, so the 19th chime occurs when it chimes 6 times at 6 o'clock. Hence, you have to return 6 o'clock. Well, let's code it. So, first of all, we have a string and I want to convert it to a list to eventually calculate the seconds. So what do we have to do? Well, the following, the initial time is equal to the initial time. And then we use the split method. Where do we want to split it? Well, here at the column. That's the argument that we pass in. Then we should loop through it for component in initial time. Print the component. What we actually have to do is to make a list of this because I want to access the indices. Yeah. So first of all, we have index 0 and index 1. Index 0 are the hours and index 1 are the minutes. So index 0, we have to convert that to an integer type because it is a string now. Should be multiplied by 3600 to make seconds of it. Yeah. So let's assign it to a variable. Let's make a command, convert hours to seconds. And here we convert the minutes to seconds in the same fashion. But we have to multiply by 60, of course. Then we make a new variable. The seconds is equal to 0. Let's print the components here. We have to take the sum of that. And this sum should be added to the seconds. All right. And then we make a while loop. Well, the seconds are, let's make a demo variable. Demo is equal to a large amount of seconds. Well, the seconds are less than the demo. And in the while loop, we add a minute every iteration. So the seconds should be increased with 60. And then we make a new variable called clock. And for that, we have to import the time module, import time at the top. The clock is equal to time.strf, string format time, which takes the first argument, which should be a string. And what I want to do is to convert the seconds back to a 12-hour clock. For that, we use percentage capital Y, colon, like you have here, and then percentage M, which stands for the minutes. So the I for the 12-hour clock and the M for the minutes. And then as a second argument, time.gm time to take the UTC time from the seconds. So we convert it back basically, and that should be at the start, it should start at 3:38 when we start iterating. But let's test it out. When we print the clock here, yeah, so that is working. It starts here. And then we have to check out for the last two characters. At 45, it should chime one time. So let's check the last two characters of the clock. And that should be equal to 45 with double equal sign. Here you see an example. If that condition is met, it returns true. So for that, we have to make a new variable. Chimes should be equal to 0. But if this condition is met, we should add a 1 with the chime. And the same applies to 15 and 30. Then it should chime one time as well. So let's add that up. Having that out of the way, we have to look at whole hours. When we hit a whole hour, the cuckoo will chime the amount of hours. For that, I want to create a dictionary, chime dictionary, and that is equal to the following. We check the first two characters, string type. For example, 0, 1 should be equal to 1. Then it chimes one time. But when it's 2 o'clock, it chimes two times. And so on and so forth till 12. So let me finish this dictionary. Yes, on to the next. So here we have to check the following condition. When the last two characters are equal to 0, at the whole hours. And then we scroll upwards. Here we have an example at 4 o'clock. If this condition is met, then we have to check the following. Of course, we have to check the first two characters of the clock. So at the left-hand side, we start with index 0. And on the right-hand side of the column, we end with index 2. So we print the first two characters. Yeah. In that case, you print the whole hours. The string of 0, 4, for example, 4 o'clock. Then we have to consult our chime dictionary to return the integer 4 that we have to add up with chimes. As following, so with the chime dictionary, we use the .get method. What do we check? Well, this condition, that will give us back the 4 as an integer type. Yeah. And that has to be added with chimes. Yeah. And at the end of the write, we can just return the clock, and that should return 6 o'clock. The clock variable, I mean, with that. So let's do that. That doesn't quite work out. I see what the problem is. The condition, I just set up a condition with the demo variable, but what we actually have to do is the following. We have n, which is the amount of chimes that we're checking. That should be here, and the amount of chimes should be less than n. We are increasing the chimes variable every time the cuckoo chimes till we reach the amount of n. So let's remove this, and this should work out. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Are there other times that we can test? Let's say this one, 1:30, and let's say that we put in 2 as n, then it should return a quarter to 2, 1:45. Well, that seems to work out. Let's test it out in the interpreter. So let's paste it in and attempt. There we go. Passed all of the tests. Hope this has been helpful, that you have learned something from it. Well, thank you for watching and hope to see you in another video. Ciao.